meet the great outdoors, it becomes a bit confusing about whose habitat it really is. That's why we end up with some favourites like the ibis or bin chicken. But apparently this everyday familiar Aussie bird has some interesting ancient history. Let's find out more. So Sally, I've seen ibises around, but I'm told that they haven't always had their life like we see them in the city in Australia now. What's your research on?
So I'm researching about another type of the ibis, a sister to the one that lives in Australia. Ancient Egyptians used to believe that gods walk on legs. So they try to find the closest thing living around them that represent the god. Ibises were a representation of the god Thoth, the god of wisdom and magic. So the ancient Egyptians mummified millions of those ibises and buried them in dedicated places called catacombs, which is literally streets filled with rooms, and every room would be filled with jars filled with ibises. They mummified 4 million of them in one place.
And what did you find out when you looked at the DNA from these ancient samples?
Everyone was wondering where the priests maintained their industry of selling ibis mummies to the normal people. So as I said, they mummified millions. And some people assume they have farmed them, like similar to how we do with the chicken now to have source of food. So, and some people said, no, they can't, farm big bird like the ibis. They should have caught them from the wild. I did put the DNA inside the ibis, as you can see here. You see, this is the leg of an ibis mummy. And you see how the skin is still intact. Everything is still nice. So the DNA is still in there. I got the DNA out of here. And I compared different mummies from different times and different places to see if they have farmed them in one place or they have caught them from the wild. And the DNA told us that they tamed them. They just collected them from the wild. So all what the priests needed to do is go in the morning, throw food, and the ibis would come running to them.
Wow, so how can DNA tell you whether an ibis is from the wild or from a farm?
If you raise chicken, for example, in one place for a long time, they will look very similar. Same with us as humans. If we're coming from one place, we become very similar in our DNA. If the ibis were raised in one place for a long time, their DNA will become very similar. While if you're caught birds from the wild, they fly and they go different places, they mate with different other birds, you get a lot of variability inside the DNA. And that's what we found. When we tested the DNA from the ibis from different points of time and different locations, we find them completely different. Ancient DNA is a time machine. It can take you to the past. So if you want to tell a story about the past, find a piece of bone and we can go back through that time machine and tell you exactly what happened in the past.
So there you go. Have some respect, Australia. That's not a bin chicken you're looking at, it's an ibis, and it's sacred.